GamingFreak.com. Hello! Welcome to my second ever video. Nice to have you here. Thanks for watching. If you watched the first video and liked and subscribed, just like to say thank you for the comments as well. They're really nice and really appreciate it. So 1.7 brought quite a few changes, as I'm sure you're all aware. So where to start? Well, before I start, I'd like to say if you guys want to see any particular video on particular tactics or ideas you have, or even tanking, new weapons, different module fits, those kind of things, let me know and I'll see if I can whack it together in a video. As 1.7 had many changes, I've decided to start somewhere with the combat rifle. The reason I chose combat rifle actually is because, if those of you who watched the last video will know, I do have Amar Assault to 5, but I also have Amar Logi to 5. Now currently with the Scrambler rifle, the Amar Logi, even with the power grid skill to 3, it's still quite a challenge to have a good fitting and without using the factional warfare items. So what I noticed is the combat rifle has the lowest power grid usage, which is my main problem right now of the rifles, even though I've actually maxed out all the power grid and CPU skills. So the reason being is if I level this up, my Logi will be able to fit more logistics style things while still being fairly potent on the battlefield in terms of damage or ranged support, medium range support. Which brings me nicely on to the effectiveness of this weapon. With the combat rifle, there are certain skills needed that are similar to the assault rifle. So if you look at the assault rifle, the standard Galente assault rifle, it has a sharpshooter skill, which those of you who take notice will notice that the Scrambler rifle, rail rifle and other weapons, other than the Toxin submachine gun, other weapons don't have the sharpshooter skill, whereas the combat rifle does have it, and I'll explain in about halfway through this video why this is important, especially for the combat rifle. I don't think the rail rifle needs it or the Scrambler. They've got pretty decent range at this point. I do agree the assault rifle needs it, and so does the combat rifle. So I chose a vantage point here, considering I'm using the RM versions of the weapon. I didn't want to die too much, but what you'll see is actually this positioning gives you a nice vantage point over Bravo, and with the optimal range of this weapon, with the skills I had, which were level 3, it still gave me the effectiveness that it needed to stop people and kill them as well. So another thing that's really important with this, that I was told from the Logi in our corp called Jack, which you might have seen repping me in the first video, is that you do need a lot of ammo with this weapon. It's not like the Scrambler where it's single shot. Each shot you fire is essentially 3 rounds, and that can chew through ammo quite quickly, especially for me when I'm used to the Scrambler and spamming the the rate of fire to get those rounds down range. But that means that when you're firing this weapon, you have to get the rounds on target. Otherwise it's not going to be that efficient. So here you can see from range it's barely damaging a scout, and this is the problem currently when I've only got level 3 in this rifle. So the main issue at a lower level is range. So if you're using this rifle at a lower level, what you want to be doing is you want to be close support, or find a little vantage point where you can still hit people and be effective. As you'll see now, coming up, if you look, as I scope here, if you look just at the bottom right, I've highlighted the efficiency of the weapon and slowed it down. You'll notice here the efficiency is changing and going down as he gets further away, and it goes up as it gets to armor. That's because the optimal range on this weapon is so important, and you'll see it took me quite a while to kill that guy there at range. However, if you look at this next kill, this guy's much closer, he's within my optimal, and you can see bottom right under the scope there, the efficiency just stays at maximum. And that's why if many people think this weapon is not good, they maybe haven't noticed or taken into account the optimal range and how that severely affects the efficiency of this rifle. If you keep looking at those stats throughout this video, you'll really see what I mean. Later there's a guy I kill by a supply depot, the supply depot that you see on my left straight ahead of me now. And from here, with the level 3 skills and no skills in sharpshooter, it's a 2% efficiency, but I didn't notice that at the time. It's only when reviewing the footage that I've really noticed this, so I think it brings in a lot of skill, and I'm going to use this when I get into any weapon in the future, is, you know, target something and check the efficiency at different ranges before you start shooting, just to get a visual indication of, you know, where do I know that I can shoot and be effective, rather than shoot and give my position away, which is really important. And I don't know why people do that, get on the back of jeeps like that, unless you've got cover. Anyway, so here you see its effectiveness in a closer range kind of environment. It has a nice stopping power here, and you'll see also with 1.7, I don't know if you guys noticed the changes in the ragdoll effects from when you kill someone, like this guy here, just slumps over. It's quite realistic. I'm loving the new ragdoll effects, they're pretty cool. I don't think though that this version of the combat rifle is very exceptional at close range, or at least for me, I'm not very good with it. I use mouse and keyboard, but I'm not very good with this weapon at close range. So I kind of go in for the hack, as I figure I won't be useful at close range, and I wasn't useful anyway, so nailed it. And I don't think it's a bad rifle, you know, like I said, because of this optimal range, as long as you take that into account. That's why the sharpshooter skill is so important. And as you can see, even with the skills at level 3, you know, this guy, maybe with it at level 5 and some in proficiency, that guy could have died, especially if I had skills in sharpshooter. And it's a very, very different style of play, an extremely different style of play to what I'm used to. Although it did feel a bit uncomfortable at first with the kick, because it's quite a harsh kick when you continually fire. But I'm not used to that after using the scrambler so much. I guess I got used to the kick on that and how to compensate for it. It's just a learning curve, I guess. But with that different style of play, I feel with the ammo restriction, because it's 3 rounds every time, you either have to carry nano hives, have someone in your squad who carries nano hives, or train the ammo skills as well as land your shots on target. To make, here you can see the difference in the efficiency in the bottom right if you want to pause it. But if you land your shots on target, and at a high level as well, I don't think you'll use an extreme amount of ammo. So here you can see I'm being pinned down by a rail rifle, and the effective range of the rail rifles is extremely potent, especially if the guy is very accurate. And to the point that I think they might have to dial it down slightly, but I'm not noticing a big impact. I'm noticing a lot of hip firing though with it at close range, which I think is a bad thing, especially as a long range rifle. You're going down the same road as the tactical assault rifle that got abused at one point, in a good way for those who are using it, and in a detrimental way for those who weren't. So here you can see the 2%. effectiveness, but luckily I was on the armor, which is what the combat rifle is best at, and it was quite a cheeky shot under the supply depot. And you can see here, if you don't land your shots on target, it's just a pain in the ass. You just can't seem to kill people effectively. It's one of those rifles where, especially if you catch someone off guard, like I do in a second, but those guys, you know, unless you've got the skills up and you clip them, it might do a lot more damage. But at a lower level, like I am here with level 3, you've really got to make those shots count or catch them off guard at a range that's good for you. Another thing why I keep staying on the tabletop here, I don't know if many of you know this, but in factional warfare, if you look up to the sky, you can actually see a square, blue or orange or red. It's blue means you've got an Eve pilot in a ship above your district. Red means you've got an Eve character who's not so friendly for the other team above your district. If you see a red one and there's no blue ones there or anything, you know for a fact that they will be calling in orbitals and you won't be calling in orbitals. However, on this map there was neither a blue nor a red square, so I knew the tabletop here would be safe and that we could continue to film this and pick people off comfortably, as there was no red square or blue square for that matter in the space above the district. So guys, I'd like to thank you again for watching. This is a slightly shorter video than last time. If you want to see anything else, please let me know. Please like, favorite and subscribe. Check out our websites, which you'll see in a second, Twitter and Facebook as well. And let me know if you want to see anything else. I look forward to hearing from you guys. Thanks again. Thanks for the nice comments last time. Bye.